Security Booth is a tight, quick indie horror experience that over delivers with its art style and bare bones mechanics. I think it's a neat little game, so let's talk about the things I like the most about it. Starting off with the art direction. The art direction is similar to a lot of the games that I've covered on this channel. It has a nostalgic PlayStation feel, but that lends to a creepy vibe overall. They leverage it pretty successfully, and I honestly think it makes a wonderful horror environment. This art direction, this art style.
In this context.
Oh, we're dead ass in a security booth. Okay. You know, I love this art style in games. For some reason, I don't know why. It just feels very like there's just something off-putting about the art style itself. Well, a car's pulled up. The job is pretty straightforward. You're a security guard in a security booth, and you pretty much just make sure that the gate is closed. They emphasize that quite a bit. Keep it closed at all times until a car pulls up, and then you'll check the license plate, cross-reference that with your employee database, and then make sure that they're authorized to come onto location. Once you've done that, you can either choose to let them in or tell them to get out of there. I don't think this guy's on here. And he was acting super sketchy. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think this guy's for real. I don't think you're real, buddy. Get out of here. Oh shit. Oh, will you let me in? You need to leave. Oh. Get up out of here, jackass. Get up out of here. Who do you think you are? Trying to make entry to here without being on the registry. And that was not a legal way to exit either, I'm pretty sure. Just full reverse into the middle of the street. It's not too difficult to get the hang of, but it certainly isn't something you can rush through, especially if you're a slow reader like myself. I found myself struggling quite a few times with, remembering what the license plate said and having to search through multiple pages on the desktop there to make sure that they were validated to get in. You look bored. Let's make your night more interesting. I bet you 5 coins I could beat you in arm wrestle. I can get you those gains from working in a warehouse. Now let me in. Alright, dude. Jackass, you couldn't beat me. Romeo Tango 8 2 3 5. Yep, Brittany Heigl, warehouse loader. You are in fact who you claim to be. You definitely are not in fact beating me in an arm wrestle, though. I'll let you know that right now, Brittany. Okay, because I've been pushing this button for many a month. Okay? That's hard work. I don't want to hear that blue-collar warehouse bullshit. This is blue-collar as well. Alright, go talk to those eggheads inside, alright? Not me, brother. Not me. Of course, this straightforward gameplay loop isn't the main part of the draw of this game. The main part, I would say, is probably the hidden lore and story beneath all of that. The lore and story is somewhat generic, but leaves enough to the imagination where you could see the story going in multiple different directions. So, you work for a company as a security guard, obviously, and this company seems to be, I can't tell if it's big pharma or just science in general, things that my simple, smooth brain can't really comprehend. But, whatever they do, this company is making big bucks, and they're super uber duper important. I don't know if they are connected to the government of this world or anything, but they are certainly doing some crazy stuff in those skyscrapers of theirs. Essentially, while you're letting people in, things are going a little haywire that night. Honestly, wouldn't it be easy to just give people like cards so they could scan in? Right? Why does this keep opening? Just not a fan of that. Oh. Sir, you shouldn't stand in the middle of the street like. You see that? You almost got hit. Sir, you can't park there. Alright. I'm gonna go give it. Oh! Oh, I left that bitch wide open. I don't know if I left it open or if. Whatever, dude. Hey, sir! Get out of here! Get out of here, sir! Sir, you gotta go. You gots to go. You can't park there. Yeah, that's right. Not around mine. Not on my post. Not on my post, sir. That was a gunshot. That was a gunshot.
System failure. System failure.
This was
System failure.
huge. Well, hope everything's going okay inside the old office. I think it's because I let that one car in. That's probably what it was. I don't know if it's supposed to be your first shift or you've been working here for months, but if it is your first shift, it's a stroke of bad luck because things are far from normal. Whether it's SCP related or its own thing is either breaking out of containment or an experiment gone horribly wrong, and for some reason it manifests itself in your little guard shack. And you'll notice little paranormal happenings around the guard shack as the night goes on. That gate's slow as shit, too. That gate is so slow. Oh my gosh. That thing takes forever. That's why I always forget to close it. Yeah, but I feel like it'd be more efficient to have employees. Was that? Has that always been there? Not right. Not worried about it. Not worried about it. Just another day here at Nova Nexus. And this happens regardless of how you play the game, right? If you let in the right people, keep out the wrong people, let everybody in, kick them all out, whatever you do, something is going to happen. Now, the events that do happen in sequence can be changed by how you play the game. However, there's never just going to be an easygoing night. I found that one out the hard way. The first time I played through, I wanted to do everything perfect, and I did, expecting some kind of like good ending, if there was a good ending. But from what I could tell, it certainly didn't seem like the good ending. Ooh. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, sir. Oh. Hey, why are we screaming?
Emergency. Emergency. Lockdown system activated. Security weapons activated. Oxygen levels reducing. Your families will be informed of your death. Emergency. Emergency.
Well, that sucks. However, I did notice I got a little bit of a reward after doing that first initial run so perfectly. So, same event so far. Feels like they're happening faster. Nova Nexus Employee of the Month. This is granted to you for doing a... Wait, was this here after my first playthrough? I can't read that. The last bit there. But I certainly am the Employee of the Month. That's a nice... So after you've played through the game a couple times, you'll notice it doesn't take long to get through it, right? It all happens in one shift. It's not some drawn out Five Nights at Freddy's situation or with a custom hidden ultimate hardcore night, right? It's just that one shift. And you're gonna get through it regardless of how well you get through it. You're gonna get through it. But once you finish that, there is even more lore, even more stories to uncover, and once you've gotten 3 endings complete, you can actually explore those and kind of figure out what exactly the company was doing. Upon taking on these challenges or experiences, without getting too spoiler, rated or coded, I would say what they're doing is pretty similar to SCP containment breach kind of stuff, where they have entities in rooms. For the most part, when you were going through that one section where it's just like a bunch of glass windows and locked rooms and stuff that you could look into, the centerpiece has been classed as a dangerous section. Whatever is projecting up the crystal seems to have disintegrated an employee's arm when stuck to the lit area. Sucks for that guy. He should have signed up for the security booth. A lot safer. A lot safer, that damn booth. All these doors are locked. They just look like normal objects, right? Like like at an art gallery or something. But obviously it's, intended to be something a lot more sinister going on. And you definitely get that vibe. And of course, the art style, everything kind of lends to that. And while you're trying to discover everything, you're trying to figure out who plays what part in this company and what exactly they're trying to do. You're left with just more and more questions. It wasn't found, it went through. Please take Natasha off all the records. Additional details, tape of the incident supplied to the director along with the full written report. Okay, so I gotta wipe this lady's details, or they got it? Is that a me thing? Is that a... Janet, I told you to move the void downstairs. I told you specifically, I said, hey, we gotta move this endless void out of my... Which I like. That is definitely not a negative for me, because I feel like sometimes the best horror-related environments are the horror-related environments that leave you with more questions than answers and kind of keep you coming back to it, and you kind of want to delve back into it and see if you missed anything that you didn't see before in your previous playthroughs. Experiences like this, I feel like that's extremely vital. Ultimately, I thought it was a pretty fun experience, something to burn maybe an hour or two in. And of course the price reflects that. It's not like a crazy crazy price or anything, so I definitely think it's worth giving it a try. You can find it on Steam. It has controller support. I believe it's on Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation. It's a well-made, easy experience, and it keeps you engaged by rewarding you with deeper and deeper lore. If you like this video, consider giving it a like. If you really liked it, consider giving it a subscribe. And if you disliked it, just ignore it. Don't give it anything. Please, I have my hands up. No, but seriously, your support means everything, and I very much enjoy making this kind of stuff, so there will be more in the future. But above all, thank you for giving me the time of day just to watch the video all the way through, and hope to talk to you again real soon. I've been Rinsler. Peace.